Hello, Architectural Digest. Welcome to my home.
Hey everyone, we wanted to give you a little tour of the HQ for Closet Core Patterns and Core Fabrics. We're kind of embarrassed that it's taken us this long to show you our home, but we've been tidying up and we're ready to kind of be a little tour. You might remember that we had a smaller studio, and then when we opened Core Fabrics back in August, we needed a lot more space because we obviously have all this fabric to deal with. So we moved into a bigger space. We're still in Montreal. We're just down the street. If you know the city at all, we're on Saint Laurent. And we have this beautiful east-facing orientation, so we get really beautiful indirect light all day long. So when you come in, this is our photo studio. Our photographer, Courtney's not here today, but she's shooting fabric drops every week. Let's do the studio part first, the actual office part. So if we come down into this side of the studio, this is our panic room. It was supposed to be my office with Tresca, my co-founder at Core Fabrics, but we didn't, there's no windows in here, and we found we didn't really like being away from everybody else. So right now it's just like a quiet workroom if anybody wants to come in and kind of get away from the hustle bustle. These doors are kind of cool. There's a really great architectural salvage place down the street that I love going into. And they had all of these windows. They had like dozens of these windows and doors from an old convent from somewhere else in the city. And so we bought them and painted them black. They were like old wood, and then had them installed on this barn door hardware so that we have a little bit of privacy. I love them, this pebbled glass, I think is so pretty. And then they also had these windows, so we had these installed so that it felt a little bit more open when you're walking through the hallway. So this is our conference room. We have some of it kind of taped off right now. We've got samples in here. We've got a big table. When we have meetings or we're planning, our fabric launches or whatever, this is where we're working. We obviously have our wall that we've kind of taped off so you don't see what we have coming for fabric. And then, yeah, this is the conference room. And now heading into the office space. So over here, we've got Emmanuelle, so she's the marketing coordinator for Core Fabrics. We've got Amma, who's our community manager, so she's the one answering your DMs and your comments on Instagram for either account. I sit here, my desk is generally a mess. I've done a slightly better job of keeping it tidy. And we've got all of our sewing books and research. Generally, this is where we're carrying and keeping all of our samples that we're working on right now, but we've hidden some stuff because we have a big launch on Wednesday this week, 4 new patterns coming out, so we're trying to conceal them from you for the moment. And then this is the pattern development section. So we've got today in the office, we have Veronique, who is our product developer. She's shy, feeling camera shy right now. So Veronique is in charge of pattern production, so she oversees basically all of our schedules, writes all the instructions. And then we have Lindsay in the corner right now, who's production assistant and education coordinator, so she's working on editing a new online class that we also have coming next week. And so this is where the pattern team works. Celine, our pattern maker, is not here today, but normally this is where the ladies are working on patterns. So we've got all of our dress forms in here. I don't know if you want to come over here, our cutting table. Muncie came up with this idea. So this is our old cutting table that used to be not connected to the cutting table at all. Or sorry, this is our pressing station. And so she had the great idea of adding it to the end of the cutting table. So now when we're pressing huge pieces of fabric, instead of letting anything drape on the floor, you can just put it on the cutting table as you're going so it doesn't need to hang down. And this is our sewing zone. So we've got all of our FAF machines. We're a FAF sponsored studio, so they have given us or lent us some really incredible machines we love to use. We also have an industrial for when we really want to, sew really quickly, or if you're sewing anything like leather, anything really tough, it's good to have an industrial around. And then this is the pegboard that I think has followed us now from my original studio in my apartment to our first kind of non-home studio, and then it's followed us through too, so this is where we keep everything organized. This is our stash cabinet. So we've put cork on these so we can keep track of all the projects we're working on. We've taken everything down so that you we don't ruin the surprise about what we're working on. I don't know if you want to come in here and get a little peek. It's a bit messy right now, but we cleaned the office, but we did not clean inside the stash cabinet. But this is where we're keeping all of our supplies, tools, etc. Here is our fabric stash, which is interesting. So most of this is like, a lot of this is like my personal fabric, but we're actually gonna probably do a big clean out because now most of the time when we're sewing, we're using fabrics from Core Fabrics. So I have this massive collection of fabric that is more or less sitting here collecting dust. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with it. Let's go check out the warehouse. Okay, so this is more of the storage fulfillment area of the warehouse. So all of these racks here, most of this is storage for closet core patterns. So we keep all of our printed patterns in stock here. Over here, this is our kitchen and kind of hangout, chill, lunch zone. We also film our online classes here. So we're actually working right now on designing a new back wall here so that the set looks a little bit more dynamic on video. And then obviously the wall, we have a really wonderful illustrator, Sally, who you might know as Sally O, and so she's done all of our illustrations since 2014, I think. So we get her to send us the original watercolors, and then we print frame them here on our kind of wall of fame. And obviously we've got, one of the most exciting things for us when we moved in was we get our own bathrooms. The bathrooms in our old building were communal and they were truly horrifying. So I was very excited when we got to, I won't show you inside because it's not that fancy, but we have 2 bathrooms, which is very exciting. And then over here is our fulfillment and warehouse zone. So this is Tresca, my partner at Core Fabrics. Over here we've got our 2 fulfillment stations. So this is where all of your orders get packed. Harry, my dog, is over here. He likes to hang out with Rika all day, our warehouse manager, instead of hanging out with me. I try not to think about that too much. Over here, we've got all of our patterns. We're starting to carry, actually, I don't know how much of this I can show you, but we're starting to carry at Core Fabrics patterns other than closet core patterns. So we're pretty excited about that. That'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. You can start seeing some of that. Over here, this is Blair's station. She's not here today, but she's in charge of all the fulfillment for Core Fabrics. This is Rika. She's in charge of fulfillment and just keeping the studio clean over on Closet Core Patterns. We've got zippers, threads, notions. What we do for packing your orders, we have a few different processes. So we go and cut the fabric first. We put these labels on everything so that you know what they are. And then we stack everything on the shelf so that as orders come in, people can kind of pick, okay, I need 2 yards of denim, I need 2 yards of this, everything's here. We also offer a sampling service at Core Fabrics. So we cut these big strips, and then if anybody's ordering samples, we put a sticker on it, cut the sample, and then send this to you. You can see some of the things that we've got on the shelves right now. And then over here, we've got our cutting tables. Right now we have a new order of fabric that just came in, so we've been processing that. Yukari is in the back here helping pack, I think those are Jessica tailoring kits. So Yukari does a lot of our assembly here, so any kind of the jean kits, hardware kits, all that stuff, Yukari does all of that in-house. And then over here, obviously, is just some of the fabric that we carry. I mean, we've got quite a bit in right now. We've had to make some space because we have an absolutely enormous order arriving this week and we're not quite sure where everything's gonna go. And then over here, we've got Anna. So Anna is customer service and fulfillment for Core Fabrics. And then coming back here, we've got even more fabric. So we've got 3 rows and we're already running out of space. Like I said, we're trying to figure out where we're gonna put everything. So this is a little tour of the 2 spaces right now. Hope you enjoyed getting to see where we get all this work done. And looking forward to seeing you next week when we're going to be dropping 4 new patterns, a new online course, and then corresponding fabric kits for some of the patterns at Core Fabrics, in addition to a fabric collection that accompanies the pattern. So there's a lot happening next week. It's going to be quite busy in here, so I guess it was a good time to talk to you. It was not quite as busy as it normally is. And that's it. See you later.